Hi guys, welcome to Sim UK. I'm lucky enough today to have preview access to Ancestors Legacy, and today I can give you a first look preview review. Ancestors Legacy is a new strategy game from Destructive Creations, known for Hatred, IS Defense, which have both been critically acclaimed, and the publisher 1C Company, who I'm sure you will know from Men of War Assault Squad 2 and other illustrious such games. The release date is May 22nd, 2018, and it looks like, on Steam at least, the game is going to be priced at just under £30. I'll leave it up to you whether or not you think that's a fair price or not. Ancestors Legacy will most likely appeal to fans of both the Total War series and those who played Company of Heroes, but Ancestors Legacy has not applied a copy and paste format here. They have forged their own way. It's due to release on PC, Xbox One and PS4, and Ancestors Legacy potentially delivers the most historically accurate Middle Ages RTS to date for almost all platforms. Admittedly, this is Destructive Creations' biggest project so far, but honestly, there is a lot to like here. Utilising the Unreal 4 engine, the game looks good. And it comprises not only changing weather conditions, but also a night and day cycle. The game provides 4 playable nations: Anglo-Saxons, Germans, Slavs and Vikings, each of which accurately portrays each faction's weaponry, tactics and even hairstyle. You can play a single player campaign, skirmishes and of course large-scale multiplayer battles in Annihilation or Domination play modes. The unique selling point here is the battle cam and the animations therein. Extreme attention and detail has been placed on realistic and often gory combat. Each individual unit consists of between 3 to 8 animated characters, and the battle scenes with the battle cam look realistic, with units actually attacking and counter-attacking using authentic moves. One issue that I had was with the character animation repetition. It exists in almost all RTS type games, but here it just seemed to be a little bit too prominent and a little bit too repetitive. Ultimately, it detracts slightly from the otherwise very high level of realism. What I did really enjoy right from the start was the tactical element, along with the tactical awareness of the AI, who willingly and relentlessly try to pressure your weakest defences and force you back or regain control of villages you have occupied. That being said, the AI is thicker than a thick piece of wood. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. You can literally rock up, set fire to their town hall, ruthlessly kill any and all peasants within reach, and despite the town being on full alert with bells ringing and people screaming all over the place, military units will simply not batter an eyelid at your pillaging. On the other hand, they will also sneak up on you and try to inflict as many injuries on your men as possible, concealed by the long grass. This seems easy to deal with until you realise that they had anticipated you separating your units and had 2 scores of men hiding to ambush and eliminate your archers, who are no longer protected. Now, I don't think the AI is actually as clever as this. In fact, I know that it is not. But they are enough of a challenge, or at least a hindrance to your progress, that you will have to plan your attacks and defences. The number of units and upgrades available are not exhaustive. There seems to be a limit of 10 active units per map, per team. Your tech tree and buildings are also fairly limited, but adequate enough, comprising of 8 building types. And this is yet another game type where the buildings and their location are dictated to you and restricted by the game design itself. I'm not a big fan of this approach. There are villages strewn about all over the maps, and these villages can be occupied, and the peasants within them can then be sent out to gather resources. Resources consist of wood, food and iron, and these resources are located outside of the main villages and therefore are a perfect hit and run target, enabling you to disrupt and irritate your foe without having to actually commit to full military action. Each resource, or a combination of them, will enable new upgrades for your military units and the buildings will unlock new military units as well. You will have a population cap, and it seems that enough food is essential in order to maintain troop morale. Military units act as a whole, but each animated character has their own health status, conflict animations, and although depleted units can be replenished at a village, when out in the field, remaining units can also set up a health camp and recover their individual health. One of the things I really liked is the retreat option. Unlike games such as Company of Heroes, it does not send the unit all the way back to base. Instead, they just fall back a couple of 100 yards, regroup, and then you can decide to send them back in, heal them, or even set up some defensive traps. Incidentally, should you retreat, the enemy forces might decide to chase you down. If they have a sprint modifier or the ability to pin you down, then the choice to fight on or not might not actually be yours. Each unit is unique and historically accurate to a degree. Formations, however, are non-existent, with the exception of switching between offensive and defensive mode. Defensive stance is required to discover hidden traps. Squad status effects offer additional benefits and hindrances to each unit, and can have significant changes to unit effectiveness. Squads gain experience and become more effective over time, and whilst you can always replace a unit, the spawn point always seems to be fixed, and often as you progress through the map, that spawn area becomes further and further away. I do like how the units visibly train before being completed, and I also like how half-finished units will spawn if the barracks are destroyed mid-creation. I had absolutely zero performance issues throughout the game, with the exception of the auto-save feature, which temporarily stops the game and slams a big saving logo in your face. It gets pretty annoying almost instantly. I had a couple of bugs, nothing major. Some of them were very funny, and there was one where the battle camera seemed to get stuck and I couldn't get out of it. But with 7 hours of gameplay, that's only 2 bugs. Overall, I have happily sunk many hours into this game already, and I've enjoyed every moment. I found Ancestors Legacy to be fun, gory, and at times very realistic. The battle cam is excellent, but I think that more should be done to allow better camera freedom of movement when you're in it. It is all too easy to miss the fantastic battle before you just because of clipping or character selection issues. Equally, I think the UI could do with a bit of a polish. It's okay, but for me it kind of stands out as a lower quality than the rest of the game. UI is a very tricky thing, and it often either works perfectly or it doesn't, and I think here maybe a few changes could be made. If you like RTS games and have a bit of a penchant for this era, then this is a game you should definitely consider. It looks good, it runs great, and has expanded on some of the best RTS games in history. If you are interested in this game and you'd like to see more, then on the 22nd on release day I will be uploading some Let's Play videos so you can get some really good visual indication of what this game is about and how it all works. My name is Mike, this is Sim UK, thanks for watching, till next time, goodbye.